If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Hello, Louse on the Road subscribers and followers. Well, the other day I made a video about getting kicked out of a campground over here in South Dakota, and I'll put a link to that video right here. And in it I talked about for someone to suggest that it's a good idea that folks that need a home come out here and live, or that we should start nonprofits so folks can come out here and live on the BLMs and national forests, you know, giving them money or an RV or a van or whatever, a car. I was told that I was being insensitive to the homeless. Actually, I feel like I am trying to help the homeless by giving them a better situation than living in a car in a BLM. I mean, I've been using the direction that it's tough living out here. We should be giving them a hand up, not just a hand out, and then let them fend for themselves out here on the BLM. And in the meantime, the campgrounds and different things are getting shut down. Well, there's a campground in Colorado that got shut down by the town. Folks had started taking up residence there, and even the homeless went to the council and said, look, we have no place to go. We have to be able to live here. Well, there was a 5-day stay limit, and of course they wanted to have a festival there, but they had to do an eviction to get the folks out. This is the problem. Well, first, I worked for a nonprofit. It was a sheltered workshop. Here's the thing about nonprofits. It's every time Washington has an administration change, they like to change the rules for a government or for nonprofits. We've been following the rules for 30 years, and people will come out and audit and say, okay, you're doing a great job, keep up the good work, you're really being helpful to the folks that you're trying to help. And we were trying to help disabled folks. Well, when the administration changed, they sent out a team of auditors, and the auditors said, my boss has said that we have to find an issue and give you a fine. So I'm going to find an issue no matter what the situation is. Well, they found an issue that did not violate the rules. If we'd have just paid the fine, it would have been a huge fine, which would have came out of the pockets in the end of the people we were trying to help. We decided that we were going to fight it, and we hired lawyers, hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on lawyers, again, taken out of the pockets that we were trying to help, to fight this huge, massive Washington agency to say they were wrong. The lawsuit went on for years, 5 years, and eventually the government just gave up and said, don't worry about it, we won't fine you, fine's been revoked. If RVers, nomads, are wanting to start a nonprofit to give people RVs and vans and cars and money, you have to go to the government and say, look, this is what I want to do. I want to give someone an RV and so they can live on the BLM. Well, the first thing, I'm sure, it just seems logical to me, is the government's going to say, wait a minute, you want me to give you a tax exempt, okay? So you can give someone a car, a van, or an RV so they can live on taxpayer-funded property. If it doesn't get denied right away, let's say it gets approved. Well, in 5 years, after all the money's rolling in and everything's going well for the nonprofit organization, the administration changes in Washington, and they decide to send out a bunch of auditors to find out what the heck's going on out here, and they say, look, you're in violation. You cannot have, let's just use this as an example, you cannot be giving people RVs so they can stay on the BLMs who are violating the rules of staying longer than these 2 weeks notice. Remember, we just had a campground shut down in Colorado. Well, okay, so now we're in violation, a real violation. They can prove that people are staying out in the BLMs longer than the 2 weeks rule. So they just shut down or fine the nonprofit organization. So all this money that's been donated ends up going into lawsuits or fines or trying to clean up the mess, and ends up taking out of the pockets that we were originally trying to help, which was the homeless. I fear that this good cause is going to end up hurting the homeless more than they're already hurting. And I keep advocating to give people real help, real hope. I just read a post the other day that says, I have no birth certificate, I have no driver's license, I have no social security card, and I don't know how to get a job, I don't know how to do anything because I don't have this paperwork. Well, then what they need to be doing is going to these agencies, homeless agencies, social security agencies, and asking, saying, look, I'm homeless. Just admit it, I'm homeless. I need help getting these documentations so I can go get a job, so I can get a car, so I can get insurance. Think about that too. We're giving someone an RV and they can't even afford the insurance. So I am suggesting, why not we donate all this money that we want to give to this nonprofit RVer and give it to a church and say, look, church, you're already a nonprofit and you're supposed to be helping people. I want to give you money to help the homeless. In my home state, in Missouri, there is this really famous guy all through this Missouri area who likes to help the homeless. He's started up several homeless agencies, and he has clean environments. I've actually seen one. They clean the buildings very good. Everything's working, running water, toilets, the whole deal. And then they try to help the homeless actually get employment. Well, this guy's been able to help out so much that he bought a piece of property in mid-Missouri where he built environmental friendly homes, and he put solar panels on them and windmills, and the folks that are homeless go there and they work to help keep the community going, keeping the solar panels running, and they all are learning skills while they're doing it. That's the cool thing. First, they're getting their Social Security cards and their birth certificates and all the things they need, and then they get to help build these homes and build solar panel generators and build windmills. And so they're learning skills also, so when they actually get to leave the property, they have a skill to go get a job. And that's what needs to happen. We don't want to give people just a hand out, give them an RV and say, okay, go out in the BLM and good luck, because, well, think about this. Carolyn and I have been up here in South Dakota, and we're really struggling to find water. I mean, we've had to get water out of streams, and if you don't have a driver's license or gas to put in your vehicle, and you're out in a BLM and you need water, how are you going to get water? You can't drive to town because you don't have any gas. Look, if these RVers really want to help, this is what they need to do. They need to go out and buy that piece of property. They need to teach people how to build solar panels, because these guys are experts on solar panels. These RVers that are wanting to teach these to help the homeless, they know all about solar panels. So again, my suggestion to these RVers that are wanting to start this nonprofit is use your influence to get a nonprofit started, to buy a piece of property. Even if you want to use RVs as their homes, that's fine. That makes sense. Have them work on this property to build solar panels and windmills. Get their paperwork so they can get a driver's license and a Social Security card and birth certificate, so they can go get a job to do the things that they've learned from you. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video.